Have I always had success in business? No. In fact, a few years ago, I faced one of the hardest challenges of my career. Up until that point, I had owned a really rather large real estate brokerage that I built and I owned it for 10 years. The market shifted though, and man, we took a hit. And during that time though, I made myself a promise. I said I'm going to come back stronger. So I had to sell the brokerage. And it took me 13 months after selling the brokerage to pay back everything that I owed. I owed investors, I owed partners, I owed vendors, and it was about $250,000 of debt. And it was a lot of money. And I was defeated, but I knew that I could build myself back up. And it took me those 13 months. So I looked at what I learned during those 13 months, and I looked at the victories, I looked at the lessons, and despite the setbacks, and despite the fact that it took 13 months to repay, I still felt like I was winning. In fact, I was $250,000 below zero, and I still felt wealthy. I still felt rich the entire time. And even through it, I never had a broke month. Even though, I had that big setback, but as a real estate agent, I averaged 10 sales a month ever since 2008, and that gave me the confidence that I knew I had something valuable to share. So during those 13 months that I was working to pay everyone back, I also poured my heart into writing my first book, Real Estate Evolution, which is the 10-step guide to consistent and predictable income. And alongside my real estate work, I launched the Consistent Predictable Income Community. And that's a coaching company designed to help others like you achieve no broke months. And things began to thrive again. And as they thrived, I want to let you know that the greatest reward wasn't the financial recovery, but goodness, I was grateful for that. It was the transformation that I saw in myself and in others. I took the hard-earned knowledge from my journey. I documented it. I began teaching it to others so that they can, achieve their own success. And teaching became my way of restoring my self-worth, of connecting with others on a deeper level. And that's where Teach to Sell came in. This method helped me rebuild my career. And it wasn't just about making sales. It was about building trust, creating genuine relationships, and communicating value. Teach to Sell is about understanding how another person perceives their circumstance through their senses, and then teaching them how to think so that they can get what they want and feel inspired to follow your lead. Teach to Sell showed me the power of teaching, how it can forge connections and establish trust. And in doing so, I found my worth and I began to share it with others. As you navigate your journey, remember, every challenge, every setback brings you closer to discovering your inner strength. Embrace the lessons along the way. Teach what you know, and you'll begin to see your story of worth unfold. So if you want to increase your chances of getting hired by clients, remember the key principle: teach to sell. First, show genuine warmth and empathy, care for your clients, and they will care for you. Demonstrate your knowledge with confidence. Teach effectively, and you will earn their trust. Share your journey, your expertise, and the lessons you've learned. And when you do this, you're going to build connections that go way beyond transactions. You're going to build and foster trust and loyalty and long-lasting relationships. Imagine this. You're connecting with a client, not just as a professional, but as someone who genuinely cares. Your words resonate with them, your experience shines through, and your confidence builds trust. That's how you're going to get hired more often. When you use Teach to Sell, your story, your expertise, your ability to connect with others are going to make you the obvious choice for your clients. So I want you to consider to embrace Teach to Sell and watch how easily your career flourishes. Your clients will be drawn to you and success will follow.